For the administrators, I have a station lesson whereby there will be 6 stations set up throughout the classroom. Students will move among those different stations. There are 6 different things, and they are all incorporating things like analyzing. There will be things such as research questions, whether or not a student is able to do effective research and find not just the right answer, but can they actually find the information. My students will also be playing a game called Conquer the States, in which they have 60 seconds to name as many states as they possibly can name, which is interesting to watch them do. They'll also be on Kia playing some review games, because we will be taking our end of year assessment the day after the administrators are here. And so having all 6 of those different stations allows them to go through, see a bunch of different things, and even though it's not normal review like what you would normally see coming up onto SOL time, I think it's certainly a review that's, while it's different, it's still an authentic review. Well, with Chromebooks, because the students are using a lot of Google-based stuff, then as soon as they log into their Chromebook, they're already within Google itself. And so there's no logging in, logging out, logging in, logging out all the time that you would have with other devices. Going to a digital conversion is a time-consuming process, but it's a well worth time-consuming process. Students have to get a little bit more used to using the Chromebooks, and at least in the first part. And so that does kind of take time away from actually teaching the kids. They have to get the Chromebook, open it up, even though it doesn't take too long for it to turn on, but just to get to places. Whereas beforehand, they could just simply pull out their notebook, turn to a new page, and start writing. Whereas now there's a few more steps involved. I've used other things in my classroom. I've used the iPads, I've used MacBook Airs, but I really like the Chromebooks. If it is web-based, which most of what we do anyway is, they can pretty much do what you need them to do. I mean, you can't get in Microsoft Word, but you have Google Docs anyway that we can use. You can't use Comic Life too, but there are other things online that you can use, which basically do the same thing. So next semester I'm going to get a new group of students, so I may change a few things. I found out things that work, things that don't work. I may focus more a little bit on doing project-based learning, and instead of labeling a map for a student, here you go, there's Google, label your map. Having them not just do project-based learning, but also problem-based learning, providing them an issue and seeing how that issue relates back to historical times, and how history has changed and how the past has been affected by changes in history. I'd like to have my students do a little bit more research. I've had them do research questions as a warm-up assignment, which works really well. I need to be able to teach them how to do effective research. I like my Chromebooks, and they have helped change the way that I teach, and I think they have helped change the way I teach for the better, essentially. I've noticed that instead of being able to teach a class of students, I can now teach individual students within a class, which is really nice. A student will ask me a question, and I'll say, look it up. Like, it's there. If you want to know the answer, it's there. I don't have to be the person to tell a student, knowledge or information anymore. Students have a desire to learn, and now they have an avenue to actually learn. They don't have to rely on me or a textbook anymore. So, are there challenges? Yep. Do we figure out how to deal with the challenges? Yep. Are we going to have some troubles? Yep. But that's teaching.